Good afternoon. I'm Jessalyn Radak. I'm the Homeland Security Director of the Government Accountability Project. And conspicuously absent today is the recipient of this award, Brad Birkenfeld. He is a whistleblower who single-handedly shattered 75 years of Swiss bank secrecy by blowing the whistle on UBS, Switzerland's largest bank. Mr. Birkenfeld's journey is very familiar to us in a number of ways. When he found out that UBS's stated policies conflicted with their actual practices, he complained internally. When those complaints fell on deaf ears, he went to the United States, registered with the IRS as a whistleblower, and voluntarily provided unprecedented, voluminous, detailed information about a multi-billion-dollar international tax fraud to the IRS, the SEC, and the U.S. Senate. The Justice Department took his information, fined UBS $780 million, set up an unusual amateurish tax amnesty program for American tax dodgers. And all the major players in the UBS scandal, no one's been punished. Everybody has been allowed to pay fines, they've been put on probation, or they've been set entirely free. Mr. Birkenfeld, and this is where his story differs from a lot of ours, Mr. Birkenfeld got something not familiar, thankfully, to most of us. The U.S. prosecuted him on a single fraud conspiracy count. Brad Birkenfeld is not here today because he is in jail, the highest possible price for blowing the whistle. The least our community, the whistleblower community, can do, and I would argue every single American taxpayer can do, is give him the proper thanks that he deserves. Whistleblowers should never have to choose their conscience over their career, or especially over their very freedom. So today, I would like to present the Tax Whistleblower of the Year Award to Brad Birkenfeld, and it will be accepted by his brother, Doug.
Well, thank you very much. I first want to thank everybody here for honoring my brother. It's a real honor, and it's a pleasure to be here on his behalf. He had the guts to stand up to the largest bank in the world, and now he's standing up to a Bush Department of Justice who prosecuted him for reasons that are still unclear. And it's particularly galling when you understand how everybody else was treated over at the bank. And I'll get to that in a moment. But I'd like to first thank, again, everybody here today for giving me the opportunity to be here on behalf of my brother. What happened 5 years ago was he came across a document while working as a private banker in Geneva. The document was deeply embedded in their intranet. It was a cover-your-tail corporate document, basically saying everything that they were doing was illegal. The whole operation. He just happened across it. Somebody showed it to him and said, "Have you seen this?" He looked at it and asked, "Where did you find this?" And this person showed him where in the intranet they found it. Their intranet. He read it again, and went to his superiors immediately and demanded an explanation because this document said everything they were doing was illegal. His boss told him to stop talking about this and stop causing trouble. Well, he didn't know my brother very well. He resigned his position from the bank and then came on his own dime and at his own risk across the ocean to the United States government, looking to report this and looking for their assistance. The United States Senate, the IRS, the SEC, and the Department of Justice, who saw things differently and chose to charge him. And that's why he's not here today. What are the fruits of his efforts? The entire executive management of UBS was fired eventually. They've paid a $780 million fine to the U.S. government to the benefit of the U.S. Treasury and the American people. They've had to shut down their entire private banking operation in this country. They've had to come before the United States Senate and apologize for this, and they've entered into a deferred prosecution agreement whereby they've admitted that the bank itself was involved in criminal misconduct in this country from the year 2000 to the year 2007. But no one else has gone to jail but my brother. In fact, the chief architect and engineer of this entire UBS program is named Martin Leachty. He was in custody because my brother told the Department of Justice, this is the man you want. They apprehended him, never charged him. He pled the Fifth Amendment before a U.S. Senate subcommittee, and I've subsequently learned the Department of Justice gave Martin Leachty immunity and let him go back to Switzerland. He ran the whole UBS operation from the northern tip of Canada to the southern tip of Argentina. And I'll share a little inside story with you. When it was revealed that he was let go by the Bush Department of Justice, a phone call was made by one of my brother's attorneys to the prosecutor, Kevin Downing, at the Department of Justice, simply asking, why did you let him go? Kevin Downing's response, he laughed. That is what we're getting out of the Bush Department of Justice. And the same people who were there then are still there now. So that is the predicament of a whistleblower in its worst possible scenario. He uncovered this whole scandal single-handedly, taking on the biggest bank in the world, coming to the most powerful nation in the world to report it, and they do nothing but gang up on him. So that's the difficult story, but I'm very proud of him, because he came forward when almost no one else would. He was told to be quiet, but he would not be silenced. And I just wanted to thank all of you for your time here today. And I also wanted to bring to your attention the fact that there is a clemency petition with President Obama presently pending on his desk, waiting for his consideration. And if I know that many of you have circulated this, know about this, and have signed up your support, but if you haven't already, you can go to whistleblowers.org and do so. And I would urge you to do so. I would very much appreciate that. And if you want to get more involved in the effort, please don't hesitate to contact Brad's attorney, Stephen Cohn. I must say that his office and his support staff has been outstanding in this whole endeavor. And so I thank you very much. And it's again with a great honor, great privilege that I accept this award. Thank you.